We will be taking the calls probably at about the top of the hour, so you can call in, give me your opinion on how you're feeling about the game so far. So when you look at this series now, which that's the reason why the title of the show, Dub Nation versus Run as One, just got interesting, because KD is not on the floor, and he will not be on the floor for the remainder of this series. So it gets interesting because you get to now see the old school. Now you can consider it maybe old school, the old school big three, which was Steph, Clay, and Draymond. Shout out to Big L. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to X Squad Radio that this show was on. Also, shout out to my fam over at the No Phony Podcast Network. Appreciate you guys for your support. But this series is tonight's game, I think, is a must-win for the Warriors, because you need to have a well-needed break for the team. You also need to give KD as much time as possible to recoup and to get better. So I think this is a must-win for them tonight, just so they don't allow this to linger, and they don't give them any possible opportunity to win this series. Shout out to RC. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, we'll be taking calls at about the top of the hour. We'll be having a special guest coming up on the line, Dawn Witte. She is an author, also founder of Desire to Inspire Foundation, and I Give On. Also, like I said, she's an author of the book B, so she'll be calling in to the show. And then after that, the phone lines will be open. Game 7 is the must-win for Golden State at home. I think the must-win is tonight. You don't need to allow this to go past tonight's game, because then you leave the door open. You leave the door open for them, and in them I mean the Rockets, getting the win. I know it's going to be in Houston, but you need to do whatever you have to do to win this series, I think, tonight. Finish it. Be done with it. Don't allow anything to go further. And it looks like, man, with the way these, going back to the Bucks, the way these Bucks are playing, they may go to the finals. Now, tomorrow, we got 2 Game 7s on Sunday. Be on the lookout for those. Those are going to be some very good games. And that's with the Blazers versus Nuggets and the 76ers versus the Raptors. Big L says Houston's winning tonight. Okay. It's 10-10. It's tied up right now. I'll keep you guys updated. But if Embiid is ready to go, he is I'm not going to say he's the X factor. He's the main factor if the 76ers are going to be able to do anything. I picked them to go to the finals. I think they have the roster to do it. So we will see what will happen. And we have our guest on the line. Good evening, Dawn. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me.
So Dawn Witte, am I saying the last name correct?
It's Witte.
Witte.
But
Dawn
I answer
Witte.
to everything.
So we have Dawn Witte on the line. She is an author. She is also founder of the Desire to Inspire Foundation. Great to get you on the show tonight, and very inspired just from what I've been reading on the website and also about the book. But I wanted to just start off with you giving a little bit of background on yourself.
Oh gosh, there's I'm just a regular person. I was a stay-at-home mom for many years, raising my daughters, and I volunteered for every opportunity that came my way because I thought all of these things are learning opportunities for me. And when my girls were in college, I thought, what are my dreams? I've been helping them for all these years achieve their dreams. What are mine? And when I asked myself that, I knew I wanted to help people. And I just didn't know how to put that into the world exactly. But when I went to Africa the first time, it was very crystallized for me who I wanted to help, how I wanted to help them. And that continues to evolve, but that's who I am, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm doing all that I do.
Awesome. And, so how did Desire to Inspire, that foundation, what was the birthing of that? How did that come about? How did you come about the name for that?
The birthing of that was very interesting because when we turn on the news and we're bombarded with negative, the killings and the robberies and the discourse. And I just kind of wanted to create something that was a little bit more focused on all the good in the world, because there are so many people doing so many amazing things. But if you hear that the world is a bad place, you believe the world is a bad place. But when you start hearing that, oh my gosh, there are these people doing amazing things in this world, and I just wanted to kind of put a light on those people, and from that, it just evolved into the work in Africa, and again, just trying to inspire people to live better lives. I am certainly no one to tell anybody who they should be in the world, but I would like to set a great positive example for them, for everybody.
Awesome. And we have a very interactive show, so you may get some questions. If you're okay with that, I
love that.
Awesome. So I have a question, and let me also give you a disclaimer. Most of these names I'm going to say is not their real names. So if you hear anything weird, it's just their nicknames that they use. But I got a question. What part of Africa were you in?
So we've got projects in Sierra Leone, Ghana, Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya.
Wow. Awesome. And being able to touch the lives of people that are, we talk about less fortunate, but people that truly need either the help or assistance. And I commend you for doing this, because it is much needed. It's not something that we should take lightly when people do that.
I volunteered as a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA, for the Los Angeles foster system. And, I think any human that isn't loved is in need. And children, for me especially, that's a really soft spot in my heart, because, children don't ask to be here. And when I saw the needs of the children in Africa, that is literally like life and death, like water, not water, food, not food. And I just thought, you know what? I've met these children. I've hugged these children. I love these children. These children I need to help. And their needs are so great that it takes just a tiny bit for me to be able to help them in a very real way, that, that it just the path kind of opened up for me because of the needs are so strong. And it also made me so very grateful for every single thing I have, because no matter how difficult or what challenges I face in my life, I'm like, I can go to the sink and turn on the water faucet. I can turn on my electricity. If I'm sick, I can go to the doctor, and those are things that I think that sometimes we don't even realize how fortunate we are to have. Right.
That's true. And we overlook it, and we definitely take it for granted. And that's something that we can look in the mirror and say, what can I do to help, and what can I do to be more grateful? Being a parent, which I know that you, like you said, you are as well, that is something that we, at least for me, I preach to my daughter, like, you don't know how well that you have it. So complaining almost it doesn't do any good, but it diminishes what you have. And we're trying to teach her, appreciate what you have. Don't necessarily always look out for what you want. next, but appreciate what you have.
Yeah, and I think when we are grateful for what we do have, more things come into our life to be grateful for.
Right. That is true. That is 100% true. We have Dawn Witte on the line, founder of Desire to Inspire, also an author of the book Be. And looking in the book and doing a little bit of research, the description, in a world where you can be anything, a collection of love with friends to inspire a kindness revolution. When I read that, I was inspired. I was inspired to start this kindness revolution, because you just think of, even when you're driving down the street and you accidentally get in a lane or something, people are ready to flip you off. But if we can turn that around into a kindness, I think we could definitely change the atmosphere. But I wanted you to talk about the book. How did that come about, and what's the gist of the book for the listeners?
I wrote the book for my daughters. One time I was thinking, what are some things that I want my daughters to know if I'm not here anymore? Like some really important life lessons, like who they choose to be in the world, because, the world, our lives are challenging. We have love, we have loss. Everybody does. And nobody's immune to that. And I just wanted to give them something that they could look to in times that are challenging, or, where they could just find the strength to keep going and to be the person that they want to be in the world. And so that's how I started it. That was the genesis of it. But since then, I've learned so much. I've delved into the study of life coaching and universal laws. And we're in the midst of finishing a journal planner that goes along with the book. That should be ready any single day now, and I'm so excited for it, because it's taken the B book about who we choose to be in the world, and it's got some writing prompts, it's got some great quotes, it's got some anecdotes of stories that really make you think, sometimes you hear those aha moments where you hear something and you're like, I never thought about it like that. I want to be able to help provide those for people.
Awesome. And the fact that you wrote it for your daughters as well. And I think it starts in the home. We start in the home with what we want to do and what we want to be. And then we take that out. And that book is available on Amazon. So Dawn Witte B. Also, is it available on any other avenues as well? I wanted to make sure we got that out there.
Right now, Amazon is the best place to find it, and that's where the planner is going to be, any day now. So that's the best place to find it. But we're going to be providing a website where we let people buy the book, but also interact with us in some mastermind groups and some online learning courses and some just some really amazing things to share this with a group of people that I've been working with, all life coaches, light workers, and we're really excited about that. So right now, that's the short answer to your question, but it will be other places soon.
Awesome. And I think just reading some other excerpts of the book, one of them was to be or not to be. Good question. Here's another. What if we all choose to be what we choose to see in the world? What would we see? Imagine if everyone chose to come from a place of love where helping one another in kindness were their own currency. That's golden right there. If we could all grasp that paragraph right there, where kindness is the currency and love, I think love can surpass all overall, and love can also surpass hate, which is just in the state of the nation and the world, period. There's a lot of that, but I wanted you to just expand on that paragraph there.
When I went to Rwanda 2 years ago, we were in this small village, and I remember Immaculate Abizia. She was the person that was leading the tour, and she's this amazing woman.